Good afternoon, everyone. Casey and Harriet, can you please confirm you're both ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Thank you. I'm now calling proceeding number 23C-0470-INS. This is the Commission's bi-weekly insurance show cause proceeding set by notices and complaints to individual respondents. Today is October 11th, 2023. It is now 12:01 p.m. My name is Aviv Segev, and I'm the administrative law judge assigned to hear this case. I'm reminding staff that this proceeding is being webcasted, recorded, and transcribed. With that said, let's please move on to entry of appearance. Ms. Walker.
Hi, Your Honor. My name is Sky Walker, attorney registration number 58330. And I'm here on behalf of the Colorado Attorney General's office, and I'm representing staff. And I'm joined today by Marquita Riley.
Thank you very much. Are you ready to present your evidence, Ms. Walker?
We are. And I have one preliminary matter to bring up with you, Your Honor. There's a respondent that got their evidence of financial assurance on file with the commission. And so they are good to go. And we are recommending dismissing them from today's hearing.
Okay. Would you please tell me the full name of that respondent?
Yes, that is Yampa Valley Transportation. Yampa is Y-A-M-P-A.
I'm sorry, of course it's not working. Just one quick second. Yampa Valley.
Yampa Valley Transportation. And it's LL-03909 is their permit number, I believe.
The permit number -09. LL-039-09, is that correct?
LL-03909.
That's what I got. Thank you. I may have said something else, but that's what I have. Thank you so much. All right, when you're ready, you may call your first witness.
Okay, thank you. Staff calls Marquita Riley to the stand.
Ms. Riley, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give will be the truth?
Yes.
You put your hand down, and Ms. Walker, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Ms. Riley. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Marquita Riley, MARQUITA-RILEY.
And who is your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
And what is your job title?
I'm the program assistant for the transportation unit.
And what is your role in today's proceeding?
I help to review the commission records and coordinate with staff against these proceedings against motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
And do the commission statutes and rules require motor carriers to file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission?
Yes.
Could you tell us which statutes or rules require them to have evidence of financial responsibility on file?
Port Rule 6008 requires motor carriers to file and maintain evidence of financial responsibility with the commission.
And what exactly needs to be provided to the commission to show financial responsibility?
Per Rule 6008, example would be a Form E insurance, filing for insurance.
And how long does a Form E, for example, remain in effect?
Per Rule 6008 requires that the insurance company gives the commission 30 days advance written notice when insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
And what is the next step when you receive that notification of cancellation or non-renewal?
We use the commission's OpRights database to compile a list of motor carriers that the commission receive written notice of cancellation.
Perfect. And before we turn to the specific exhibits, did you provide the exhibits for today's hearing to respondents?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at what has been previously marked as hearing exhibit number 1. Perfect. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing that contains the names of the motor carriers that the commission received notice that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
And who prepared the list?
Commission staff.
And how did you prepare it?
We use the commission's Operate database.
And when was this list prepared?
On September 22nd, 2023.
Just to get a full picture of the exhibit on the record, would you mind scrolling down to the bottom? Perfect, thank you. Ms. Riley, is it the practice of the commission to create a hearing cycle listing like the one we see in Exhibit 1 in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain documents like Exhibit 1 in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Exhibit 1 into evidence.
Well, before I make this decision, there's an individual identified by the name of Kelly Milan, who has joined this Zoom session. If you could kindly identify yourself and tell us if you are representing anybody. If you are, I need to give you the opportunity to object should you have any objections and so on. So would you please introduce yourself? Thank you.
Sure, apologies. So Kelly Milan, I'm with Tasco Inc. I am a carrier, and I received notice of this hearing with regards to some authorities that I purchased and they have been transferred to me. And I believe in that transfer, maybe someone didn't realize that my Form E took over for the old carrier. So Gary Gramlich may have taken me out of the case already. I'm not sure. I wanted to be sure that I attended and resolved any questions.
Okay, so the carriers that you said that you have, or that the entity that you represent have purchased, can you identify those so that Ms. Walker could tell us whether the permit or license for them is still in question in this matter?
Certainly. The two acquired entities, one was Cortez Cab and the other one was Durango Cab.
Your Honor, those two companies have been dismissed from the updated hearing cycle list, so we're not seeking revocations against those companies.
Mr. Milan, do you understand what it means? It means that you can attend, you can continue to attend if you wish, but the staff is no longer seeking revocation of the permits in this matter. So, like I said, you're welcome to stay or leave as you.
Yeah, I'll leave you to your business. I'm sure I don't provide any further value, but thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Cheers.
Thank you. Before our discussion with Mr. Milan, Ms. Walker, you asked whether I would be inclined to admit what's been marked as hearing exhibit number 1, and yes, hearing exhibit 1 is admitted.
Great, thank you. Okay, we'll jump right back into it. Ms. Riley, what action did the commission take based on this list?
The commission sent a letter to each respondent.
Perfect. If we could please turn to what has been marked as hearing exhibit number 2. Perfect. Ms. Riley, what are we looking at here?
These are copies of the letter sent to each respondent on today's updated list.
Okay.
Each letter is a complete copy of the letter sent to each respondent.
And what information does this tell respondents?
The letter explains that all operations under its authority may be suspended as of the date the insurance expires, unless proof of proper insurance is submitted to the commission. The letter also contains information on today's hearing. It contains information on today's hearing to the respondent that evidence of financial responsibility is not submitted to the commission, then its authority may be permanently revoked.
Okay, I see. And when did the commission send out these letters?
The letters were sent on September 22nd, 2023.
If we could ensure the full record by just scrolling down to the final page. Awesome, thank you. Many pages. Ms. Riley, is it the practice of the commission to create letters like the one we see in Exhibit 2 in the regular course of the commission's business activities?
Question, please.
Marquita, I think you just froze for me. I couldn't hear what you said. Could you repeat that?
I'm sorry, I said my internet froze. Can you repeat the question for me?
Yeah, no problem. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Is it the practice of the commission to create letters like the one we're looking at in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain letters like the one we're looking at in the ordinary course of its business activities?
Yes.
Perfect. Your Honor, I would like to move to admit Exhibit 1 into evidence, or excuse me, Exhibit 2.
What's been marked as hearing Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Perfect. Ms. Riley, does the commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
Yes. Per Rule 6006 requires that motor carriers file and maintain a designated agent.
And were these notice letters in Exhibit 2 sent to the addresses of the designated agents that were provided to the commission?
Yes, they were.
And how did the commission serve these letters?
The commission mailed out the letters through first-class postal mail.
Let's look at what has been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 3. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the attachment sent with each notice letter in Exhibit 2. The attachment contains information on how to participate in today's electronic hearing.
And when was the attachment sent to respondents?
On September 22nd, 2023.
Did the commission create this attachment in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And did the commission maintain this attachment in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Perfect. And before I move to admit the exhibit, if we could just scroll down to the bottom to make sure that we're getting the full exhibit on record. Perfect, thank you. At this time, I move for the admission of Exhibit 3 into evidence.
Hearing Exhibit 3 is admitted.
Let's move on to what has been marked as hearing Exhibit 4. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
This is the certificate of service for each notice letter and attachment sent to each respondent.
And did the commission create this certificate in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And did the commission maintain this certificate in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Perfect. Is this just a one-page attachment, or are there multiple pages? If we could scroll down in case there's multiple pages. Looks like there is not. Perfect. Your Honor, I move for the admission of Exhibit 4 into evidence.
Hearing Exhibit 4 is admitted.
Ms. Riley, and if you could scroll back to the first page, that would be great, or the top of the page, thank you. Ms. Riley, the language on the certificate states whose name and addresses appear below, and it also states see hearing cycle listing. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing that we saw in Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Exhibit 2, which was the notice letters that were sent to respondents, gives respondents information about providing evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing. And if the commission does receive evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing, what happens?
Then we do not proceed against that carrier and dismiss them from today's hearing cycle listing.
And did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's hearing?
Yes, we did.
Perfect. Let's turn to what has been marked as hearing exhibit number 5. Perfect. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
This is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's date. This contains the names of the respondents that we still do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
And was this exhibit created by the same people and in the same method as the initial hearing cycle listing that we saw in Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Is it the practice of the commission to create an updated hearing cycle listing in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain hearing cycle listings like Exhibit 5 in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Perfect. Your Honor, I would like to move for admission of Exhibit 5 into evidence.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, go ahead.
Hearing Exhibit 5 is admitted.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
I forgot to ask if we could scroll down to the bottom page just to make sure we get the full exhibit on record. Thank you. Ms. Riley, did staff send a letter to all motor carriers listed in Exhibit 5?
Yes.
And do the addresses listed in Exhibit 5 match the carriers' addresses that were listed in Exhibit 2, which was the letters that were sent to respondents?
Yes.
And when is the last time you checked to see if there was any change in the status of carriers that are listed here in Exhibit 5?
Today, this morning on October 11th, 2023.
Perfect. Ms. Riley, are you aware of any pending applications that could affect any carriers that are listed here in Exhibit 5?
No, we do not have any pending applications at this time.
And earlier in the during the preliminary matters of the hearing, we discussed that Yampa Valley Transportation, we recommended dismissing Yampa Valley Transportation as they had submitted the correct proof of financial assurance. Does staff recommend dismissing any other carriers that are listed here in Exhibit 5?
No, not at this time. That's the only dismissal we have right now.
And are you aware of any letters that were returned to the commission?
Yes, we do have one return mail for this proceeding. It is for the service center. We did find another address on file provided from the respondent and remailed the letter out to that other address.
So the initial address that you sent the letter to, you testified earlier that you sent it to the registered agent's address?
Correct.
Okay, and what address did you send the second time?
We sent it to another address that the respondent had on file, to the authorized mailing address that's in our system.
And did you receive any bounce back from that second email?
No, we did not.
Ms. Riley, do you know when the decision issued as a result of this hearing becomes a final commission decision?
The recommended decision will become a final commission decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues the decision, if no exceptions are being filed.
And if a carrier provides proper proof of insurance before the decision becomes a final order, what happens?
Then the recommended decision will not be enforced against that respondent.
And what is staff's recommendation for today?
Staff recommends that all the certificate of permit numbers listed on here in exhibit number 5 be revoked due to lack of financial responsibility as required by law, except for Yampa Valley Transportation.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Your Honor, I have nothing further for Ms. Riley, and staff rests their case.
Thank you. Very quickly, Ms. Riley, you mentioned that there was no bounce back, but I think the word email was also referenced there. So for the respondent that for Yampa Valley Transportation, against whom I'm sorry. For the return mail, what is the respondent associated with their mail that was returned of hearing exhibit 2, I believe?
So we did receive the return mail for the service center. We did send it out to the designated agent's address. The respondent had another address on file with the commission for the upright mailing address. So we remailed it out to the other address.
Right, and you said mailed or emailed?
We remailed it out through the
mailed, so not emailed. Okay.
Correct.
And what is the name of that respondent? I'm sorry.
It's for the Service Center LLC.
Can you, the first name, I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
The Service Center?
The Service Center LLC. Got it. Thank you.
Apologies, Your Honor. I may have said email during the direct, and that may have caused a little confusion.
That's fine. I just and again, last question. Both addresses were on file with the commission. Both the first letter that was sent and the second, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Any redirect, Ms. Walker?
No, I think that we are good to go. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ms. Riley. You're excused. I will take this matter under advisement and issue a written recommended decision. I appreciate everybody's time and Ms. Riley's testimony. And we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.